Black. And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show, and this is going to be episode 316. So I hope you guys had a great day, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the MSK show, I am going to be having a conversation with Comics League, aka Jared from Comics League, and this is going to be his first appearance on the MSK show as far as a one-on-one appearance, because his first actual appearance on the show was when me, him, Savage Dad, Lunchbox Warren, and Labs Comic Fan did a panel show, I think 3 or 4 months ago, where we pretty much gave a lot of our comic book industry hot takes, actually. And mine is still going to be something I'm always going to bring up as a comic book hot take, because goodness gracious, the comic book industry needs a dedicated reprint structure. There is no reprint structure here. Like, I don't know if you have a trading card game background, dude, but you know, from like trading card games, like typically there's like a reprint structure usually to it. Like, they'll usually reprint cards at a certain point when a certain style of deck is out of its rotation, usually, are not being good. Like from trading card games, there's a dedicated reprint structure usually within it, for like me playing Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. Comic books don't have that. Comic books,
they
like,
claim
if you
to.
want, yeah, like literally, they actually go to YouTube channels to see like what channels are actually talking about as far as like wanting to get reprinted. Because I don't know if you watch Near Mint Condition.
I do.
Yeah, like usually DC and Marvel are watching his channel to figure out what fans want to get reprinted. And I'm sitting there going like, wait, you don't have data analysts or people that can find you that information for you?
Yeah, you really don't. I mean, it's like it's only recently that they started reprinting all the Wonder Woman omnibus. So
they've been giving her a lot of love. They
have been giving a lot of love, and Tom King has been taking that love away. But anyway, Tom
King like is the greatest Batman writer of all time. You take that away.
Anyway, but it's like, yeah, you're right. It's like there's so many of their seminal books that they only reprint stuff when it's announced that it's going to be like a movie or so, because that's the only reason they reprinted.
That's like the only guaranteed time. Yeah.
It's like that's why they reprinted that Supergirl book, which flopped, by the way. So it's like it was in the dollar bin before Gunn said, "Oh, I'm making this into a movie."
Yeah, like I wish comic books would get a better reprint structure. Like literally,
they need a better marketing arm, bro.
Like there should be no reason these companies should have people watch. I love Omar. I like Near Mint Condition a lot. I watch their videos quite consistently.
Me too.
Nothing against them, but these companies should not be just looking at YouTube channels to see what fans want. I mean, you can I'm saying you can't do it. It's not a bad thing to do, but like, is someone really going to sit here and tell me they don't know what people want? Marvel, reprint X-Men omnibuses starting with the original, because they reprinted. What's reason about Marvel, they reprinted Volume 2. They gave Volume 2 a reprint, but they didn't reprint Volume 1. Why would you reprint Volume 2 instead of Volume 1?
I know, that doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah, and then they haven't reprinted the Chris Claremont's Uncanny X-Men run. A lot of those books, guys, starting, if I wanted to just buy those to collect them, even from the original X-Men Volume 1, it starts at like $200 just from that first book, right? The second one has a reprint. That's a little bit more cheaper, but if you wanted to get all four, because he has, 5 books in his run?
About that.
So like, 5 times 200? That's insane. That's already dropping like $200 on like 5 omnibus.
But it's like I'm very grateful they reprinted the Phil Jimenez Wonder Woman omnibus, because if I tried to find that on Amazon, it'd be like $500 to like all the way up. I think I saw $900, and I go,
Jared,
good Lord.
PayPal paying for. You can always PayPal. Yeah, just 4 payments of $100 every 2 weeks. Yeah, like Wonder Woman has been getting a lot of love recently. George Perez's run, omnibus format. Phil Jimenez.
They just announced they're finally reprinting 2 and 3 of George Perez.
Oh, Greg Rucka's run.
I have that one.
I have to buy that one. The art, I've never read the run, but the art on it looks incredible.
His first run is the good one. His run during DC Rebirth is hot garbage.
Good Lord, man. It's just
or a lot of Rebirth books that are basically crap.
Dude, for Green Lantern, do you remember they were doing the whole, like, they have the book 1, book 2, 3, 4, 5. They did it for Green Lantern. He got to like book 4, but then they're like, we messed this up. So we're just gonna give Green Lantern Compendium, which is the rebirth
Mm-hmm.
run. That's Jeff Johns and creepy fat fuck Van Driver and
Mm-hmm.
Ivan Race, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, whoa. So if I invested into this collected edition format of Green Lantern from book 1 through 4, that just stops
Well,
at
I have all
Compendium.
his original Omnibuy Forge.
Yeah. I have the first one. I do. I have to get the second other. I have to get 2 and 3. But it's just like that's my problem with DC is they'll do a book format, which is basically a creator centric compendium book, which is cheaper than an omnibus. But then I don't know if they're gonna finish that series out.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like Tom King, he just got his book 2, and it's like, okay, if I wanted to buy that for a cheaper option instead of spending money on the omnibus, how do I know they're going to make a book 3? Like, how do I know that?
Because they have to gauge your need for toilet paper, which is about the only thing that Tom King's writing is good for.
Okay, so why did Marvel announce a Zeb Wells Spider-Man omnibus? That's truly toilet paper.
Yeah. I'm like, what? No, because here's the thing. We say this all the time on my show. With Marvel, it's more like we're Marvel. We can do whatever I want because I'm Marvel, and I'll be the top-selling comic company forever.
Oh, what's up, guys? How you doing in the chat? WC, Jared, and Mac, 2 whites talking about comics. Yep, that's what I'm generally starting to be. 7 omnibuses if you want the original one. That's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And keep in mind, and also, a lot of people understand this. Last brings up a very good point. They actually do shorter print runs the second and third time around. So, like, let's say that Greg Rucka Wonder Woman omnibus, this is sold out. Everyone just bought it. That means the next time they do a reprint of it, it's going to be even less.
Well, here's the thing. I think the Greg Rucka omnibus is the first time it's been collected in an omnibus.
That's also crazy too, is the fact that there was this DC's Finest book with Batman called Red Skies. They said that Batman material has never been put into a collected edition. It's like, really?
Which here's the thing. That has another problem going back to Rucka, because, like, wait a minute. Rucka's original run is like one of the seminal Wonder Woman runs, and you haven't put that in an omnibus until now?
That's why we should adopt this motto like Omar did from Near Mint Condition. No comic left behind. I don't even care if they double dip. People ask, like, do you mind? I don't care those double dipping, because if you don't double dip sometimes, then it makes mapping for the books look weird. People go like, okay, where's this issue with this one? Just double dip. It's not that big of a deal.
I have plenty of doubles in here for Omnibuy because, like, no, I want the entire thing.
Yeah. So, since it's your first appearance on, well, I guess not the show, but a one-on-one with me, because, Big Daddy Top G's over here. So for people who don't know you, we'll start here. So the second and third time you come on later in the show's history, we won't have to do this again. As you know, you love your origin stories. You love them. Love them. So let's start with your origin story. How was your life growing up, man? How did you get into, let's say, comic books? Let's start there.
All right. So I was always a superhero fan going back to, like, very young. In fact, I remember very vividly watching the old Justice League cartoon show, and I remember particularly the episode. It's the one where Amazo shows back up on Earth and kicks everyone's ass. And I remember that one because it's like that's when all of the Justice Leaguers were present. And beforehand, I didn't know there were superheroes other than Batman and Superman. So I'm like, who the hell are you? but so I was always a movie guy. And I dabbled a little bit in the comic books, but I was never really like this into comic books until the Snyder Cut got announced. And MSK, you've known me for a fair amount of time. I'm a fan of Zack Snyder's DC.
We know each other for like what? Since 2020? Yeah, 4 years. You were on the original Nightwing pod. I remember. Yeah. Man, 4 years. Holy shit, has time flew by.
Time sure flies, hey brother.
Yeah. But dude, back then when the Snyder Cut came out, oh my, people don't know that what they missed back then when that was announced.
The hype, bro.
And what's crazy is you looking back at it now, because was it true that guy literally gave Zack Snyder like almost $50 to $70 million to finish the movie? Like, he had it done,
completed.
That
there
would
were
never happen now.
And there were a few scenes. He got all that Joker stuff in the Nightmare. That was all newly shot stuff.
Yeah, I remember that. He filmed that. I remember that. Yeah. But could you imagine that now? A random executive just giving him $50 million to just finish
complete
that
your
stuff.
movie. Complete your movie. But yeah, so
From a business point of view, if I found someone did my company, nah, you gotta be. He was fired literally the day after it happened, too. It couldn't have been a bigger Cinderella story for that to happen. Like,
particularly since those executives are the ones that screwed Zack Snyder beforehand. So he's like, ha 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 ha.
oh, God.
But yeah, so that happened. I started the channel like that October. So actually, this October coming up is my 5-year anniversary of doing YouTube. Time sure flies. But channel didn't really gain a lot of traction at first until I started having like regular like collabs and guests on, and then it actually started to grow. And then what really helped me at least get past the 1K mark is I started a show basically on the history of Superman and Wonder Woman, specifically on them and their relationship. As you know, I hate Lois, but with that, and then what happened, and then that really like exploded my channel. I started doing a lot more specifically Wonder Woman content, because here's the thing I learned: there's not a lot of Wonder Woman exclusive YouTube content out there. So as you know, when you're a YouTuber, you find essentially a hole in content, and you like pivot and go.
I'll ask you this, because you know how people call Superman not interesting, which doesn't make really any sense if you actually would read his stuff.
If you know him, yeah,
it's quite not interesting. He's actually a very interesting character, honestly. But for Wonder Woman, when people call her not interesting as Batman and Superman, what would you say to people like that who don't think she's
long said, okay, so let me break this down for you. There's a reason why the Trinity, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, are like the leaders of the DC universe, because they each represent a third of what being a superhero is. Superman, hope, Batman, justice, Wonder Woman, truth. Now, when you think about it, truth is the most important component, because you can't get real justice without truth, and you can't actually like have hope unless you're truthful to yourself. So all of this revolves around truth. So I'm of the opinion that despite what some people would try and make you think, when you think about it, Wonder Woman is the most important DC character for that reason only.
Okay. So
your
favorites.
Yeah.
So your personal favorite is Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, yeah.
Okay. And then after that, how would you probably put
Wonder
Batman?
Woman, Superman, Batman.
Okay.
And then Hal Jordan.
Okay, so Green Lantern. So outside of Green Lantern, who would be like your 5th and 6th?
Aquaman, and probably, can I choose a different Green Lantern?
That's fine, I guess. They're kind of superheroes.
Yeah. Jessica Cruz.
Okay, all right.
That's such a great character.
So what would be Wonder Woman comic book storylines you could point to people and say this is a nice jumping on point for you to understand the character and like her as much as like Batman or Superman?
Gods Immortals by George Perez, because that perfectly
pretty much always the number one is George Perez's run. Yeah.
Oh yeah, anything with George Perez on there, because what he did is he broke down her lore in such a way that's easy to understand. That's the first part. Because it was the first run in post-crisis, you don't have to read literally anything after that. After that, I'd say Greg Rucka, and then you get to like Phil Jimenez. Gail Simone, I don't necessarily recommend, because that gets really like weird and sometimes bad in there. But
what about Brian Azzarello's run, Blood and Guts?
Azzarello, if you want like a cool, like hardcore like version, that's fine. Honestly, nowadays, whenever I recommend a Wonder Woman book to them, it's Absolute. Absolute Wonder Woman is the best Wonder Woman book to have come out in the past decade.
Okay. So, are you current? I'll put that right now, because I think issue 12 came out last week or this week.
I've read every single Absolute Wonder Woman issue.
Okay. Like it's definitely selling very well. It's still top 5.
It's one of the top books at DC right now.
Goodness. But dude, you know what's the problem with the Absolute universe it's going to run into? Not because it's not selling very well. I think they're going to eventually use it to reinvigorate interest in other characters. Like they just canceled Green Arrow, but we have an Absolute Green Arrow book coming out.
Yeah.
And we know the Absolute versions for the characters sell very well. I don't know. Like, do you think that could be an interesting world where they cancel a character's book in the main universe and then they reinvigorate them by giving them a fresh number 1 in the Absolute universe? Because Hawkman's getting one too. Like, if they launched a Hawkman number 1 right now, would anybody really buy it unless there's a name, like a big name creator on it? It's like, I don't know. I don't know. being honest here, you know?
The problem with that is that is reliant on the idea that the absolute universe remains this popular. Because here's the thing,
Right. It's true.
because yes, it has momentum now, rightly
Yeah.
so, because it's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Except for Martian Manhunter, I have no idea what goes on in that book, but the thing about comic book like lines is that the longer they go, eventually they start to lose steam. The original Ultimate Universe went through this. You could argue the main Ultimate, the new Ultimate Universe is going through this. And I mean, Absolute, I would say, let's see where it is at year 2 before that becomes a viable practice. Because if it's still around for 2 years and not declining, then I think it's in really good shape.
Yeah, because I know you had Thinking Critical on your channel, Wes. He did a video. He actually did a video a few weeks ago or about a month ago where if people don't actually see, like on the ICV2 charts, they actually goes to 100, but you actually have to pay to get to that 100. The mainline DC books are actually not selling well. Like the whole Summer of Swin initiative is not selling very well, which is weird.
So we track this on my show because I like to compare Absolute Wonder Woman to regular Wonder Woman. Absolute Wonder Woman consistently is in the top like 10 of DC books. It's always reliably in there for a year. That is very rare for a book to stay that well for a year and top rated.
Yeah.
And Eisner Award winning. Tom King,
Eisner Award, God, King.
Well, actually, what's kind of funny, every time his Wonder Woman series has been nominated for an Eisner Award, he's lost. So it's the point where I call it the multi-Eisner Award losing series. Well, the other thing that I absolutely hate is the Trinity Daughter of Wonder Woman series because it's freaking garbage. But with that, it's supposed to be the introduction of her daughter, right? Guess what? That book is in 134th place.
Wait,
so I'm like,
joking.
I
guess. Whoa! What did you say to me? That book is on 130.
Right now, it's at 134.
That book is awful.
Yeah,
sales-wise.
It is god awful. And I'm like, that's why I don't think King is going to stay on the Wonder Woman book for long. I just don't.
Well, he's gonna do he announced he's doing another Batman one-shot.
I think they're gonna move him onto a Bat book.
I don't know.
He didn't want to. Did you know this? He didn't want to write Wonder Woman when they asked him to do it. He said no.
Yeah, no. I actually so that Batman Ultimate Guide right there. He was interviewed before he did the Batman Rebirth series for Batman #1. His favorite character is Batman. He said he dreamed of doing Batman. So I couldn't imagine him being the right fit for Wonder Woman at all. Like if you actually read his Batman run, like that's actually.
By the way, so the run is straight up him worshiping the characters he'd rather be writing other than Wonder Woman. There's a scene where there's a murder on Olympus, so Wonder Woman brings Batman instead of like an actual Wonder Girl like Cassie to like solve the murder, and Zeus knows him. And then Batman goes, "So you know me?" And then Zeus goes, "There's gods, there's men, but then there's Batman."
To be fair, that sounds pretty
and I
big.
go, "Oh god damn it, bro! Stop it!" Besides that, he also has a real love boner for Steve Trevor, which I'm like, well, that's a very interesting like character to latch on to. He's horrible, but it's like the point is that's the problem with the series. He's writing about other characters and not developing Diana or having them like worship other people.
He wrote a Black Canary miniseries for DC.
I read the first issue about that, and I was like, nope.
Was that Black Label or was that main continuity? I think
main continuity.
Yeah. That only ran like 6 issues, and then he did. Oh, Jenny Sparks. That was the Black.
That's
Label
also bad because it's like there's a scene during COVID, and Superman goes, "I can't punch a virus." And I go, "Yeah, we know that, but you know what you could do? Go to your fortress and invent a cure." You're a Kryptonian, for Christ's sake.
I just find it weird that 3 of his books that have come out have all been women.
He likes to write female characters, but the problem is he writes them like bitches.
Dude, that's why it was so confusing to me when James Gunn was like, yeah, Tom King is he's on the advisory board for like the
minute James Gunn's wife is calling Tom King an encyclopedia of DC, and I go, that is a massive red flag right there.
Dude, the red flag for me was Tom King. I was like, ugh.
And Lindelof on Lanterns.
Then the other one was Christina Hodson. Christina Hodson is trash. Straight up bad.
Yeah, let's look at her resume with DC characters, shall we? Birds of Prey and Flash. She's really batting 1,000 on that one.
That's the problem with people like her, is they'll be like, well, I had to change. It was executives and they forced me to change all my shit. I can guarantee you, even if she wrote something now, it would not be good. She already proved she doesn't understand DC characters. People, I think Birds of Prey was actually even worse than that Suicide Squad chopped up movie that they gave us, which is crazy because that movie was botched from the studio chopping it up, right? Well, that wasn't even what originally
exactly.
it was.
And actually, if you watch the extended cut, they put a little bit more on that, and they a little bit more. They fixed a lot of the Joker Harley stuff. So I go, okay, this is a better version of the movie. I still want to see the Ayer cut, but when you look at like Birds of Prey, it's like who? That's not Cassandra Cain.
All of it was bad.
I'm like, what? Black Canary.
Okay. Do you know do you know a worse superhero movie to come out in the last 5 years than that movie? I think that movie's even worse than some MCU movies that have come out. That Birds of Prey is horrible.
Okay, so seriously, what's Black Canary's power?
That's when she can the scream supersonic.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So you assume she's used to using it, right? When she finally uses it in the movie, she faints.
Is that even crazier? She only used it. She said I've never used my powers like this. What do you mean you've never used them? There's never been a time you were scared and it just came out. Like, what the fuck?
There's 8 different times in the movie when this could have been useful.
I'm being honest here. I think that's the worst superhero movie released in like the last 7 years.
I'm gonna tell you this. That is the worst, short of Justice League. That is the worst DCEU movie.
Every character was bad. Like Harley Quinn was not entertaining or fun.
Cassandra Cain is not Cassandra Cain. Huntress is the only one where I'm like, okay, at least you clearly looked at a Huntress comic.
But her acting, do you remember her acting in the movie, dude? Horrible. I was like, this is who taught this lady how to act?
And it's like where she's trying to create a catchphrase, and I go, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. Superheroes don't do that anymore.
But the worst one, I think, is Ewan McGregor's Black Mask.
That one I kind of liked, though. That one I was like, okay.
I was like, what is this black? And who else was in the movie? Victor Zsasz was in the movie. Horrible. And then I think the worst stuff that broke my mind, Harley Quinn just walked into a police building with a shotgun. I want you guys to this. I understand.
No. It wasn't just shotgun. It was a freaking grenade launcher. It's not a shotgun.
I get it's a superhero world. I understand it's a superhero world.
There's no metal detectors.
There's no people that work the front counter, the security. Like,
if you walk into a cop thing with a grenade launcher, you're gonna have 80 pistols aimed at you.
And this is Gotham. Like, isn't that police force usually fucking filled with people? Like, the other one that really just broke my mind at the end of the movie, Harley Quinn ran on roller skates and caught up to a car going, I can guarantee you, about 80 miles an hour. That was my brain just went absolutely like, just all right, just that I'm not like, hey, the MCU's put out some real shit. I'm not denying that, but Birds of Prey was just
Renee Montoya. That's not Renee Montoya. None of these characters acted like their characters.
Oh, I called her Ghetto Power Ranger. She fought like one. She fought like a Power Ranger, but worse. I don't even know how that's even possible. Oh, at the end of the movie, they're like, oh, we're the Birds of Prey. You are? Oh, shit. You could have fooled me. I thought the title was going to be trash.
Also, there's no Birds of Prey team without Barbara Gordon on the team. I'm sorry. I do not acknowledge a Birds of Prey team without Barbara.
Because Poison Ivy is not an original member.
Ivy is on the Gotham City Sirens.
Okay.
Which is Harley and Catwoman and her.
Okay. God.
There's a lot of female teams in DC.
Like, I knew it was gonna fail because I saw the trailer initially. I was like, "This looks bad." The trailer automatically.
The title, Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation
of one Harley Quinn.
It was so bad that they changed the title to Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey
after week one.
Yeah,
after week one, they knew it failed, and they're like, I think an executive at Warner Brothers, maybe it was Jason Kilar. He was like, "Yeah, it kind of failed because I think the name's too long." Yeah. What?
And I love where some people that defend that movie try to say it was because of COVID.
Of that movie? Oh shit, that's crazy.
They try to say it's because of COVID. And here's the funny part: this movie came out before the lockdowns happened, before anyone even knew the lockdowns were going to happen.
Before it, yeah, because Sonic came out the week after,
something like that.
Yeah, because I remember the week it was Fantasy Island, Sonic the Hedgehog, Birds of Prey. Those were the movies that came out that were new. Birds of Prey came out at least 2 weeks before Sonic did. I know that. I was around. I remember Birds of Prey came out 2 weeks before Sonic did and failed. Sonic did more, I think, in opening weekend than Birds of Prey did in 2 weeks, and I'm like, wow, this is awful. Like, I don't think I've. And then, God forbid, Wonder Woman 84 comes out right after that. That might have. Okay,
what a
so
disappointment.
that might be the worst year for DC movie wise. 2020, Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman 1984, horrible movies.
I would say so. I mean,
unless you count 2023.
Yeah, that I'm like. But here's the
like
thing.
Blue Beetle? I don't feel like Blue Beetle. So
I enjoyed it. See, here's the thing. 2023 were good movies that were screwed over by them announcing there was a reboot. Because Shazam would have made some more if they hadn't told you ahead of time it's a reboot, so it doesn't matter. Wait, just say if you need to say something, say we're going to revisit this after these movies come out, but we are not making those decisions right now.
Right. But even before that, dude, these movies were already failing. Like these, but I think that was just a nail in the coffin because the movies, if you look at the track record, were already going down and down and down. Like the
best
only bright spot was Aquaman.
Exactly. I was about to say the best one of that batch is definitely Aquaman.
Like the only one that's out. I mean, people say Joker, but that's like a Black Label movie than anything.
Yeah, that's not DCU. I don't really. There are people that probably don't even know it's a DC movie, and then Joker 2 came out. Oh God,
we don't talk about that movie's horrible.
Literally, I was watching with my dad, and then we paused the movie to like go grab a soda or something like that. And he turns to me, and goes, "That is the worst DC movie I've ever seen."
That might be a debate for one of your shows. What's a worse DC movie, Birds of Prey or Joker 2? That's crazy.
It's because here's my problem with Joker 2. Are you ready? It jumps into song randomly, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
That was my problem with the movie too. It's like it could have worked if he actually made the song and any of the songs in the movie in a timely manner to cut in. It was like literally after the most serious scene,
every 30
song.
As soon as I heard the faint of music in there, I'm like, no, and it's like Harley is like a character named Lee that broke into prison just to date the Joker
because she fantasized about him or whatever.
Fantasized about him, and then it's like it turns out when she finds out who he really is, she doesn't love him, and then Two-Face gets blown up, of course, and then he gets rescued. It's basically Todd Phillips saying "screw you" to everyone that liked the first movie.
It's weird because I actually liked the first Joker movie.
I liked it too.
I had some issues with it for sure, but I thought it was
for what it was. It was pretty good.
It came out better than I expected, and I actually enjoyed it. When I watched it, I was like, okay, I get. Since I know this is not main continuity,
it didn't need a sequel though. That's the problem.
That might be one of the fewest movies I've ever seen in my entire life where I don't even know why a sequel would be justified at all. But it's because it made $1 billion. That's why. That $1 billion thing screws people's minds so hard. Like Marvel too, when Captain Marvel made $1 billion, they're like, "Oh yeah, there must be some big fan base there."
Even though you're ignoring the fact that the reason why it made $1 billion is because what movies did it come out in between? Infinity War and Endgame.
Biggest movies
ever. Do well.
Yeah, like Anthony, what's up, man? He says I rewatched Joker 2. I liked it better after the rewatch, and then I want when I rewatch it in theaters. I've tried to go back and rewatch my favorite scenes from it because there's a few scenes in there I did like, but I couldn't do it. Like the graping scene. Why is that there?
Yeah, I'm like, what is this? It's like there's so much shit in that movie that I'm like, why? That's what I want to say. Why? And then, of course, the Batman comes out, which was great. And then the Penguin came out, which was also great. So I'm like, okay, there's been a lot more good DC content than people give the movies credit for. It's like we're currently on my show rewatching all the DCEU movies. And I go, when you look at the DCEU movies, at least the initial first batch, most of them are okay to pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I would say, like, Aquaman and Shazam is the break-off point, but it's like once, but from like Man of Steel to that break point, they're actually pretty good. Obviously, replacing the Justice League movies.
I think the big problem with Joker 2 was that the guy who did it, I forgot, Todd Phillips. Yeah, he literally didn't want to do it.
Yeah, and he was angry that people liked the first movie, and I go, bro,
that's what's crazy. that means that I don't even think he had the main input on making it the way it was. I think a few other producers or people that wrote the movie, I think they're the ones that made it what it was.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, because it's so weird how he didn't want to do the movie and like literally just say, "Hey, I don't want to do it." Because he filmed everything in LA, which would literally make the movie's budget balloon because the tax incentives here for a movie to get its money back. A lot of it would be negligent. Like this guy didn't want to do the movie. Joaquin Phoenix didn't. I didn't get the enthusiasm he wanted to do the movie. Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn could have worked. She has the personality to do it, but they just ruined whatever.
I never saw it though. I'm like, and
Yeah.
her name is not Harley Quinn. It's just Lee.
And she just checked herself in to an insane asylum of the worst people ever,
just so she could see the Joker. And I go, I guess you could do that, but I'm like,
can a person just like if I just went into an insane asylum, if we had an insane asylum in my city, like, hey guys, I'm mentally insane. I'm living here. All right.
And then they go, what proof do you have that you're mentally insane? And then you show them your YouTube channel.
So the last time we had talked, James Gunn's Superman movie didn't come out. So what was your opinion on James Gunn's Superman movie? First movie, the DCU. I know you didn't like the Jor-El stuff.
I hated the Jor-El stuff. And
I didn't like it either.
The other problems I have with it is that I don't like the red trunks. That's just me. And I feel like there were too many jokes that were like funny at first, but then were repeated over and over and over again, like the damn crypto jumping on people joke. And I go, no, that is like, stop it. And I hated the Justice Gang's damn suits. Mr. Terrific is fine, but I don't like Green Lantern having a mostly white suit.
So I agree with you on the. So I didn't hate the movie. I liked it. I thought it was fine.
It's not my favorite Superman movie, but I still enjoyed it.
But the issues with it, like, see, if these issues were one or maybe two, I'd be like, this could have been a really, really great movie because I think it's good, solid to good, but it's not great. You know, I wanted it to be great as a first movie for Superman for the DCU, right? Because Crypto, I think the only way to make that idea work is if he talks. If he talks, it's a lot more connective. And
but he doesn't do it in the comics, though.
But people said, I agree with that. But people had said that wouldn't make it work. But we're in a world where a guy flies around and shoots laser beams out of his eyes. We're already not in logic. I think him not talking, like in other movies where the dogs can talk to the humans, it makes it feel more connective. Like when it's just doing random shit, you're just like, that's just annoying. Yeah, we don't even like when pets do that now, you know? And again, he doesn't talk in the comics, but I think that's a change you would make for live action because I think that would translate to live action more than the books. So the Jor-El thing, I just find it just unnecessary. Now,
well, you know his reasoning for that? He explained this in the commentary. This made me drop the movie all the way to a 5 out of 10. So his reasoning for this was like, he goes, there are so many things that have to be the same way in the Superman movie. The S-curl, the trunks, the marriage to Lois. I had to do something to make my Superman different.
Oh, that was the one I think he had. Yeah, I remember the interview. Yeah,
and hang on. Yeah. This is in a movie that he called an immigrant story. So I go, so let me get this straight. In a story that's supposed to be about an immigrant coming to America, you make the place he comes from want him to sexually enslave every woman on Earth and like rule the Earth. You realize how problematic that looks.
So you watched Smallville. I remember you did.
I did.
So Jor-El originally in Smallville was, I remember, I could be wrong. Remember who watched this on replay. Wasn't he like the Jor-El in that movie?
They did, but they retconned it hard because everyone freaked out. And people are still freaking out about the Superman thing.
So there are moments from the comic books and in live action where Jor-El's been different, but the Jor-El that people typically like
he's always been good. He's never been we're sending you there to conquer. And it's like the funny part is that when the movie came out and Gunn was talking about well, there was an element of that in Superman Birthright. Guess what Superman story I had just literally at that moment got done reading?
You read Superman Birthright. That's my
I literally looked up from my book at the screen. I go, no, it isn't.
People just be lying. This is how you can tell people haven't read books is they'll tell you something happened in a book, even if they saw in the YouTube video, and then still and either
That's
misrepresent what
why,
happened.
or it's like I encounter this a lot when it comes to people that think the DCAU is like the actual canon for DC, because people think, oh yeah, Batman and Wonder Woman have always been a couple, and I go, no, they haven't. They've never been a thing.
It
But
could
anyway,
be a thing, and that'd be a really great thing if they were. Because
no,
Bruce needs some love. Why can't Bruce have
don't.
some love, man? He fights Joker.
He's married to the city. He's married to his to being Batman.
Dude, Talia raped him. This man needs some loving. I'm pretty sure he liked it, but that's a different story for another day. If you get great thing, you like it from a crazy ninja bitch. No, and the thing is with when I finished watching Superman, I was like, okay, I like this. I would probably give it. I don't give ratings anymore, but I probably give it a solid rating. But the things that I didn't like knocked it down more. So like the Jor-El thing, I just think it's unnecessary. There's no reason for that to be a thing, unless you can theorize that because Clark in the movie had this image of who they were because he never met them. Unless the idea behind it, I'm just making this up because I hope this is true, or maybe it's just James Gunn, different mindset. What I think is he wanted Clark to realize, okay, the people that raised you, those are your real parents. Those are the people you should be looking up
to. That's what he wants, but the problem with that is that you could have done that without character assassinating Jor-El.
Yeah, like I can kind of understand the mindset behind it, but you don't have to make Jor-El that way because most people like the Jor-El that's sending Clark to
even
Earth
in the Snyderverse, you got the message across. Even in the Reyes movies, you got Superman and Lois. Any version where you have Superman still evil, still good, it's still like the Kents raise him because he shows up as a baby. The Kents are, when you think about it, the most important characters for Superman because they determine his values.
Yeah.
In any version of Superman.
I see the Jor-El thing is one of the things where like I get his point of view of like I have to make mine different. It's like, but why do you have to be? Well, I don't understand this mindset of people. Even with James Gunn, and I like James Gunn to a certain extent. It's like, why do you have to be different though? And if you want to be different, can you be different on something that makes more sense to be different on?
He said, again, let's go back to what he said previously. He said that he likes doing the more obscure characters because he can change whatever he wants. He doesn't like having to adhere to canon. And this is why, honestly, with all that, it annoys me when people try to make him out to be like the Jesus Christ of DC, because he's really not. I've seen so many occasions where I'm like, you don't have to change that. You don't have to change that. Oh, and by the way, Labs comic fan, the Mr. Oz Jor-El, that was actually a retcon, and that was actually mind control. Also, I love how many people were like trying to say, well, he could retcon that later, and Gunn multiple times said it's not going to be retcon. That's the true thing.
To be completely fair, he did you know how you started the DCU with that video announcing the movies where he said we're going to do it this, and this. Just a few days ago, I made sure to bookmark this.
Oh yeah.
Where he said, yeah, maybe I should probably start with some established characters first. I've been saying, you know me, remember that? I've been saying this since you should probably start off with characters that people know. That what I always say this. Okay, what? Go ahead.
I'm going to pitch you if I were in charge, here are the movies that I would start with. Are you ready?
Kite Man.
No. Hell no.
Mr. Miracle.
Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Green Lantern, or Aquaman. The point is like another Justice Leaguer, and then Justice League. And then assuming these 6 movies are successful, then you can branch out with other projects. You don't start with the D-listers.
Well, Anthony wanted you to go over this question. He said, Jared, question, at any point in Superman's comics were Clark's parents from Krypton ever portrayed as very Krypton supremacists like Zod was?
Not except for like when they showed like Earth 3, which is intentionally the evil universe. No.
He said, Jared, do you agree with people that there was no stakes and danger in this movie?
Yeah. It really didn't come across that because it's like, and also, why was there a scene of him saving a squirrel?
James Gunn said that he liked that scene. But the test screening audiences didn't like the scene.
I can see why. It's like, why are you wasting time saving a squirrel?
Why do you hate squirrels, Jared? Are you a squirrel sis?
When there's a giant monster attacking civilians. Also, remember where he's standing in front of the building and the creature like blasts heat at him, and it goes into the building through the windows. You're telling me no one got burned?
I like that he protected all of them. That was pretty cool. I did enjoy that.
The fire went around him.
Jared, this is
into
a
the building.
Jared, a guy runs around in a bat suit in this universe. I stopped caring about logic years ago.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, the point is, it's like those are minor things. Short of the Krypton part is the part that I'm really like, because I'm of the opinion that his Kryptonian and human self are equally important to him. I mean, he's wearing the Kryptonian logo on his chest every time he puts on the suit.
Oh, I felt the CGI in that lake scene was bad. Remember? It was when they were getting sucked into that black hole when Mr. Terrific said to come back that way.
Oh,
he was in that lake with Metamorpho.
Yeah.
That was just ugly. I was like, what the hell? That's just ugly. That was just terrible looking. It wasn't like it didn't have any danger or anything. It's like that baby looked like a baby from like fucking Section 8 housing you would see.
Baby Joey. That's not a thing from the comics either.
So yesterday when he had said, yeah, we should probably I should probably make movies based on what's happening. Yes, that should have always been the thing.
Those should have been the first. That's why it's like it was a common theme on my show when he kept announcing like Clayface, like
I don't mind
Mr.
Supergirl.
Terrific
I think Supergirl can work.
Supergirl you can, particularly when Zaslav comes out and says Supergirl is one of our like pillars, and I go, okay,
wait a minute. He also said Shark Week was a very valuable property too. Come on.
No, but the point is, it's like when he was announcing like Clayface, Mr. Terrific, and all that stuff, my co-host and I were like, where's Wonder Woman? And then he finally got pressured. You notice after Zaslav said Wonder Woman's a priority, that's when they were like, hey, we got a Wonder Woman movie in production.
I think he's had a lot of changing of his ideas since that first announcement. Because I always told people this, and I even said this to you when you were on that last show. It's like his mind will change when he sees the outcome of Superman, because all of these plans, it's happened with Zack Snyder and Jeff Johns and all those other people. Remember, they had all these plans, and then when the reception came in from when the movie actually came out and people started having their reviews and they started talking about it, all of it changed. That's what I said. Don't announce all these other movies until you get at least 2 or 3 to kind of gauge, like, okay, this is what people like, this is what people don't like. Let's kind of work with it here. I don't know if a Clayface movie will work. I don't.
The other thing is like, okay, so with the Supergirl movie, I'm not against Supergirl movie. I'm against the drunk pirate girl version of Supergirl.
I need to read Woman of Tomorrow. I do. Did you read Woman Tomorrow?
Yes, it's garbage.
You don't like it? Okay, people here actually Lapston Warren liked it, so
it's a ripoff of True Grit, because what you need to know about Tom King is that his original ideas are ripoffs of better content.
So, like, you have to essentially gauge also the market too, because the market for movies now, the numbers are down. The numbers are way down. Yeah. Like, if he puts out a movie and it doesn't do financially very well, like, they're gonna not make any more to these movies. It's just how it works, right? Like Superman, I don't think it flopped, but it certainly underperformed. It certainly did, based off the number, the budget, and the marketing attached to it. It definitely underperformed.
Yeah.
But people think Superman's momentum will carry over to Supergirl. There's no guarantee in that. There's no guarantee in that at all.
Exactly.
Not even close.
There is no guarantee about that.
Sony thought that when they dropped that first Venom movie. Oh, well, 2 will just do even better than the first one. I mean, keep in mind, this can happen in movies. I'm saying it can't. But this notion that everything is just going to go up and up and up is ridiculous. Things can go up. Things can also crash back down. Like, I don't know if the Superman momentum carries into Supergirl. Now, if Supergirl is very good and the word of mouth is good, we've even seen that not work with superhero movies. Like for Thunderbolts had great word of mouth. People actually liked it from everything I've gathered. Yeah, it was a good movie, right? Solid movie, right? Completely failed. So even with good word of mouth, movies don't do well. It's just the climate.
And that's the thing. I always tell people, here's what people have to understand about this, whether it's the comics or the movies. It's a business. It's not a charity. So yes, it's nice to have good word of mouth, but if something's successful monetarily, you need to prioritize that if you're a businessman, which Zaslav obviously is.
And that's the thing that most people just don't see. It's like a number. I'm not saying sacrifice quality for all this money, but this is not a charity. Like it's not a charity. Not giving out money for free. They're not paying James Gunn what he said, $15 million to do this. They're not giving him that money just to
That's
fuck
why
off.
if I were in charge of DC, I would say you have the job, but I don't want to see any of these. Like, I don't want to see Clayface. I don't want to see any of this other bullshit until we have at least the Trinity movies out.
Mm-hmm. And
prioritize that.
Yeah, because he had just talked about this yesterday. I remember there was an interview he had with Variety or Deadline or THR where it said we got to do some established characters. Well,
I think he's under pressure from WB because they're seeing that like look, it's like Blue Beetle. Here's the thing with Blue Beetle, good movie. But here's the problem. It should not have gotten a movie because Blue Beetle is not the character that when I told my dad that like, hey, there's a Blue Beetle movie out today, he literally responded with, who? So I'm like, yeah, you don't want that with the audience. That's what Marvel ran into, and half their projects are about people no one gives a crap about.
Yeah, but the problem with Marvel is that they lean too much into doing it. When they first started out, we're in a different time period back then. We're in a different market.
Well, back then they didn't have any choice because the only characters that they really had access to the movies for were the Avengers.
Yeah, and now when you're putting out movies that, you know, for characters that people just don't really know about, we're not 10 years ago where the box office is a lot more lucrative than it is. Right now, the box office is literally a toss of the coin. Either a movie does very well or it just flops.
And people always bring up, well, Gunn did Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy does not get made or authorized or greenlit unless those previous MCU movies had been successes. Because it's like that established audience trust that they're like, okay, if I see the Marvel logo on it, on literally anything, it's going to be a good movie. If all the previous Marvel movies flopped, there was no way they would have done Guardians of the Galaxy. A talking tree and a raccoon? No.
Hey, I am Groot. We are Groot.
We are Groot.
And you know, another thing James Gunn did, where, you know, you said, I remember as a quote he had said, we're not going to greenlit a movie until the script is done. So Man of Tomorrow gets announced, and then the day after he said the script is done, he said movies don't get greenlit until the script is fully completed. Or now, like the timing's not that bad, but he said no greenlit.
The previous projects were like the script. I have yet to see the scripts, and I go, you just said you're not. I think it's not moving until. Don't announce anything until you have a script.
That's what I told. But it's not just to James Gunn. I told it to everyone. Don't announce anything you're not going to do, because then you get people excited and they want it to come out, and then nothing comes. Or because he changed his mind on The Authority. I think that's the movie he was talking about, where he was like, I had a script ready to go, director and everything, but I canceled it because who wanted an Authority movie?
No one really. I think he. I think he was.
Or maybe it was that Sergeant Rock movie. Maybe it was that one. It could have been that.
It was either of those. But I think what was supposed to be the plan was, because the engineer is in Superman, I think that was supposed to lead into The Authority.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm.
That's what I remember.
Because Superman was supposed to. The Authority was supposed to be, I think, their original follow-up to Superman.
Yeah, I think so.
It had to have been The Authority that he canned, or that Amanda Waller show too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the Amanda Waller show. I think is still happening because Amanda Waller is Gunn's favorite DC character. See, here's what this is. This isn't the DCU. It's the GCU. It's Gunn's cinematic universe. It's all the projects that he wants.
I want Supergirl to be in a I would say an orgy. Just why not?
Well, here's the thing. Here's my other critique of Superman. What role really did the engineer play? Because here's the thing. You could have played the same role with Mercy Graves, Lex Luthor's assistant, who's also a cyborg.
I forgot. What was it? Maxwell Lord in the movie too? It was his brother who portrayed Maxwell Lord, right?
Yeah. I hate
people told me I said Supergirl was gonna get like gangbanged in the movie because I think she's just a drunken whore. Did they put an orgy in Peacemaker?
Yeah, they literally did, and I'm like, although season 2 I'm enjoying season 2 more than season 1. I'll say that.
I need to. How many episodes is season 2 gonna be?
8, and we just got 6.
Okay, so 2 more weeks left. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord, like. I want the universe to do well. I do. I mean, I didn't hate Superman. I did enjoy it. barring my issues. But if people think that momentum from that movie carries over to Supergirl, they don't
Automatically, no. I'm sorry, no. Particularly if you have like a bunch of TV shows in between that, that's not a guarantee, guys. And then the other one that has me concerned is Lanterns, because they say it's not based on any comics. It's mainly just Tom King's version of Green Lanterns, and I go, this is the man that that when he wrote Green Lantern in his Batman run, he had Green Lantern blow his own brains out. And say they say I can't harm myself by Green Lantern ring, but they also say I have the most will. So here we go. Boosh. That's literally how the scene went.
What wasn't he the guy that wrote Heroes in Crisis, where
yeah,
was like, Wally was the villain that was killing a bunch of people or whatever?
He also had Green Lantern say, "What even is willpower?" And then so he was on a buddy of mine's like channel for an interview, and then he tried to like philosophicalize it and say, but I'm like, no. But my friend Max Priestley, he has a saying about Tom King. Tom King writes for stupid people who want to believe they're smart. Because if you criticize it, he'll say, they'll say, oh, you're just too stupid to understand it. It's so deep.
That's, to be fair, a lot of the Snyder fans do that too.
No, I know, and I'm not defending that, but
well, no, I'm not saying you are. It's just like anyone that does that, they literally are. They don't go outside.
They have no argument. They
literally don't go outside. I know they don't got a bank account. I know their mom pays that cell phone bill. Literally, if someone's that's like when I usually bring up people are literally too dumb to understand where my mind goes. Guys, that's not meant to be serious, right? That's meant to just, but people that be like, you're just too stupid to understand. No. What if I did understand it and I just didn't like it? That's me. All the people don't understand that too. You could understand how something works, but just not like the execution of it. That's just how these kind of mediums work. I mean, Clayface, who knows? If they're using it to introduce a bunch of other characters, then people will just say, well, this is just that character's secret movie instead of Clayface, because we heard Nightwing's going to be in it. Well, what if Nightwing has a bigger impact in the Clayface movie than Clayface?
Why are we getting a Clayface movie before a Batman movie? I said the same thing when that stupid Batgirl movie was coming on. I go, why are you doing it before you actually solidify who your Batman is? That is the stupidest idea. Do you know what it is? People come up to him and say, I have a script for this. I have a script for this. And he goes, green light, green light, green light, green light. And I go, no, tell these people, come back when we actually have Batman.
Wait, isn't Tom King getting his, he's in a Miracle Man animated series,
Mr. Miracle animated series, which is based on his other travesty of a book, which is also based on Mr. Miracle trying to end his own life. Yeah, that's a common theme of Tom King books. Everyone is either mentally like traumatized or trying to kill themselves.
I think he just straight up has mental ill issues, honestly.
Oh, he has basically hinted at that, so I'm like, it wouldn't surprise me. And I go, bro, then go take it. He uses these characters as his own therapy.
Do you remember his Batman run?
Where he has Catwoman punch out two Flashes that are running at her at super speed?
Before that, Joker just convinces Catwoman, break up with Batman. She's like, all right. What?
How in love with someone? It was Bane.
How in love? Yeah, that's even worse. That's even worse.
Left him at the altar.
No, it's like, she's like, I love Bruce. I will do anything for him. Break up with Batman. Okay. I've never seen logic like that work in my entire life. Like,
my favorite though, bro, because here's what normally happens when Tom King leaves a book.
Girl.
The writers ignore it. To the point where, so the way his Batman run ends, and it's like, it's Bruce and Selina, they're in a sports bar, they're watching a football game, everything looks good, right? Literally the next issue, the first issue of the Tinian run, they're broken up and Selina's in a sexual relationship with someone else. So I go, that shows how much people really respect you.
I didn't mind the Bane portrayal. I think Bane, everything he made Bane do, he would kind of do. Like, the Bane stuff I can understand, but this notion that someone loves someone, and then it wasn't even like a friend of hers that told her. It was a villain. Break up with Bruce. Sure. What? Yeah. I actually straight up, my brain fried. I was like, that is so stupid. Either Tom King, okay, maybe Tom King is based. Maybe he's calling women stupid. Thing.
So you know what he does in the Wonder Woman run? So he has Wonder Woman bring her infant daughter into a war zone. To the point where she's holding her baby like this. I'm going to use a Batman statue like this as she's deflecting bullets. So it looks like she's using her baby as a human shield.
Or, I mean, as Laps pointed out, it could have been Dan DiDio. He was the editor in chief of DC at the time, so maybe.
Well, with the Alfred thing, what I heard was that the original plan was for it to be a trick by Clayface, that it wasn't actually Alfred killed, but that was back when they were going to do 5G, and a plot point of 5G is Alfred gets killed. So that's kind of what they're.
Did you ever which other book did you like? Oh, my bad. My brain is frying because I'm a genius.
good.
Jokes aside, everyone. What about Absolute Batman? Do you like that?
Yeah, I'm reading all the Absolute books. Martian Manhunter's the one I like the least, but just because it's like there's a lot going on in that book that I don't understand. Batman, my favorite are the Trinity, in the order of my favorite characters, because I like Superman because it's like, oh, this is a more hardcore Superman that's like fighting Vandal Savage.
I read the first 3 issues of Absolute Flash. We did a review here with Laps.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It was very fun. Very fun book.
Absolute Green Lantern's fantastic. I'm like, oh, I really like this.
This is my thing, because like I know a lot of writers take the fall. I think a lot of the decisions made for certain characters are also based around editors. Like we know this with Spider-Man when it came to like One More Day with
the problem.
Joe Quesada.
With Tom King on Wonder Woman, the editor doesn't do anything. She lets him do whatever he wants.
To be honest, I don't know. Like they it's always a he said, she said. I don't know how much work the editors put in, or depending on which editor.
Here's the problem with Tom King. He will take credit for all the good stuff that happens, but the minute he gets any heat, he'll say, it's not my fault.
Oh my god! Like when Ryan Reynolds, I remember when he said Green Lantern was shit. I was like, we know, Ryan, we know, we watched it.
It's like good. Detective Chimp shows up in in an issue of Wonder Woman for stupid reasons, but that's not the point of this. But so some people had issues with it because it's like, what he said, I brought in Detective Chimp because I wanted to pitch a Detective Chimp book. And I go, so using Wonder Woman to pitch other books, but beyond that. But then the minute people had an issue with that, he goes, no, that was the artist's idea to use Detective Chimp. And I go, hey, a-hole, you literally said 2 seconds ago.
You guys have to be looking forward to Gunn's Batman over Matt Reeves.
Honestly,
I've told you guys this. I didn't really care for Matt Reeves' Batman all that much. If it gets a sequel or not, I'll be honest here, I just don't care enough. Honestly.
Honestly, it's like I want to see, like, I need to see more of the Batman in order to like see if it's any good, because so far we know absolutely nothing about it besides Damian Wayne is the Robin.
So my thing is, because I know he's talked about Batman Brave and the Bold. Because he said it was supposed to be based off of Grant Morrison's run, where Damian Wayne is introduced, and I'm kind of interested to see who he's going to pick to direct and write that movie, because wasn't it supposed to be Andy Muschietti supposed to direct it? It's like,
yep.
Like, I don't know. I did not like Flash. I think Flash was terrible.
No, but here's the thing about Flash. I don't blame Andy for the Flash, because here's the thing. That thing had gone through so many directors, have been in development. How the production started on the Flash when season 1 of the Flash started. That's how crazy this was. So I'm not holding that necessarily against Andy.
He did cast Supergirl. I remember he did do that. That one.
That was a good Supergirl. I like that one.
You think so? Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. I thought she was just a Henry Cavill as a girl. They picked her from Days of Our Lives. She was from Days of Our Lives, Jared.
I'm like, you adapt Flashpoint without adapting Flashpoint.
It was originally called Flashpoint, though. And then they changed it, remember? It was originally called
because here's the thing. If they had like Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Flashpoint Batman, and you have eventually had Henry Cavill as Superman, and that would have been great.
Oh, I forgot. You also couldn't do Flashpoint because they didn't have Wonder Woman, Aquaman. Cyborg wasn't in it because Ray Fisher, he had that falling out with, Warner Brothers and Walter Mott and all that stuff, No, I said she was a male version of Henry Cavill. To be fair, she was from Days of Our Lives. I didn't expect much. When he said
or how about this?
Lives, I didn't
At the very least, if you're not going to do Flashpoint, do a grounded Flash movie. But again, they wanted to use the Flash to reboot everything. So they needed to do Flashpoint.
Yeah, it was crazy. Is they should have just had Aquaman come out before the Flash and just release the
Yeah,
Flash.
exactly. That was the
Yeah.
original plan, by the way, because they also would have had more time to do all the VFX and such, so it may not have looked that bad.
But then James Wan, too many James, goddamn James Wan, James Gunn, fucking hell, good lord. Then James Wan, his movie had to get delayed because he had to do a bunch of extensive reshoots and a bunch of other shit. Literally, dude, I'll be honest here. After I saw Flash and I hated that movie, I was like, you know what? I'm done here. No more supporting these until they reboot. To be fair, I don't really count purchasing a ticket for Joker counting to that because that's like a black label thing to me.
It's an Elseworlds thing.
Yeah, I didn't see Blue Beetle. I didn't see the last two I didn't see that year was Blue Beetle and Shazam and Aquaman 2. I did see Shazam 2 was just not good. Shazam 2 was just, I love that. You know, I told you that's my favorite movie of the DCU. I love that first Shazam movie. I think it's very good.
Oh, it's really good. Yeah, it is very enjoyable. I love it.
And the second one was just, because I know people criticize Wonder Woman for graping that guy. What did Rachel Zegler's character do? Rachel Zegler's character is like 2,000
and the other
old.
thing, that here's how you make that movie. Here's how you make that movie a monetary success. You ready? So it's called Fury of the Gods, right? How about you make this a Shazam and Wonder Woman team up movie? Because she's fighting the gods.
But it is the fake. People don't talk about fake stakes. Shazam 2 had fake stakes. Literally, the dude dies, and Wonder Woman's like, okay, oh, I forgot. He's in that one place or whatever, and she's like, and he gets brought back.
He's like, clear.
Like, what the fuck? Oh god. Fucking hell, man. That's when you can tell they just kind of ran out of steam with all their ideas too. Because like I love and I like Wonder Woman, but the fact that she had more movies than Batman didn't have any movies in the DCU at all.
Batman versus Superman, kind of, but it's like no solo movie.
Okay, so that would be like, so you would consider Freddy versus Jason both a Freddy and Jason
Never
movie?
seen it.
Okay, that like it's weird if you count crossover movies like that, if they're both movies, that could probably count, but it's like Batman getting no solo movies in a universe, that's just horrible.
Yeah,
it's
for the first DC shared universe.
Oh, dude, remember they were gonna make the DCEU? Remember Walter Amato wanted,
because I thought it was a genius idea to make the Trinity Supergirl, Batgirl. You see the level of stupidum that we were dealing with, MSK, and I'm like, yeah, I'm glad you all lost your jobs. You all deserve
he wanted Batgirl, Supergirl, or I forgot the other person to be like
Wonder Woman. It was Wonder Woman still,
and they were gonna swap out. And Michael Keaton was supposed to be the main continuity Batman.
Guess who they were going to cast as Superman, going all the way back?
Oh fuck! I remember
David Cornsweet.
They were gonna cast him to be the Superman.
He was the one that they were all the way back, and even back in the Shazam days when we were hearing that they wanted to replace Henry Cavill. It was him that they were hovering.
To be fair, that would have been a rare thing.
By the way, he was good as Superman. I'm not going to take that away from him. He was good.
Great,
Superman, Lois, and Lex, I liked.
Man, Rachel Brosnahan's for this. I know you don't like Lois. Rachel Brosnahan.
I hate comics Lois. Movies and TV Lois, I tolerate.
Rachel Brosnahan is for the streets, dude. Did you see what she did when she was when she cheated on her husband? Remember, did you see that clip of her kissing him after James Gunn said cut?
No.
She is for the streets. I'm just saying. Like, that made me not like Lois. Okay. I was like, Jared, you got a point there. But like, I think their ideas were just circling like when they wanted Dwayne Johnson to be an advisor for DC.
And here's the thing, that's the other problem. Black Adam, here's how you make that movie $1 billion. Replace the entire Justice Society and have Black Adam fight, I don't know, Superman, or even Superman and Shazam.
It's so crazy how Shazam and Black Adam never actually met in that universe.
It's because The Rock didn't want to fight any of the D-listers, and I go, listen, bro, you're playing a D-lister. You're playing it. I don't know how to tell you this, Dwayne, but you're a D-list character in this universe.
I remember he had said that Black Adam made profit. I was like, dude, that's like, holy shit.
You have to double the budget, Dwayne.
At least to break even, right? Anything we do that. It literally, because I was like the movie.
I enjoyed Black Adam as well for what it was. I was like, okay, I can enjoy this. I can rewatch
this
it.
is when you could tell the universe had no steam. If the biggest movie star in the world can't get a movie to like $500 million.
No, but again, if you had Superman in that movie, because everyone wanted Henry Cavill back as Superman, if you had him actually in the movie instead of like in a post-credit scene, I guarantee you people would have showed up in droves for that.
What else came out? Oh, fucking hell.
There's
those are all the movies. Yeah, those are all of them. I think we talked about
Shazam 2, and there's Blue Beetle should not have gotten a movie at all.
Remember when James talked about potentially bringing that guy into the universe?
Yeah.
Maybe is that gonna happen? I don't think so.
The funny part is that so you want your first DCU character to be a flop?
Yeah, or is he gonna bring him in as far as like team wise? I don't know, because he can keep the guy. People liked him. That's fine.
Yeah, but the funny part is like he goes, I love his thing. Blue Beetle's not the first DCU movie, but it's the first DCU character. And I go, what the hell is that? On what planet does that make sense? This is the problem. He yaps. And I go, bro, maybe someone should take his phone away.
Might need some PR training. I will tell him that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude, I can't wait for Man of Tomorrow, where I don't know how they're going to justify. I mean, Superman will do this. Superman's a great person. He wants to see the greater good in people. I want to see the interaction of him forgiving Lex for, I don't know, checks note, ruining his reputation, obviously, and trying to destroy his life. Literally, and almost straight up murdered him to death with kryptonite. I don't know. I know Superman is a great person. I know he can forgive him, but goddamn, is that going to be hard to convince people that he can do that? I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm saying it's going to be hard to convince people that this guy is going to be able to forgive that guy for what he did. Or maybe it's not going to be forgiving. It's going to be like a situational
mutual
battle.
Respect is the way I see it.
It's going to be probably maybe a situational battle where he doesn't really forgive him, but it's just like, this is a bigger villain we have to deal with right now. Also, yeah, I said the same thing too. Black Adam is not big of a character.
He's not. And that's the funny part. When Dwayne was trying to hype him up, he goes, the most powerful being on earth is Black Adam. And I go, since when?
Yeah, like, that's what I told people. Black Adam is really only known because he fights Shazam. That's like the most bare minimum thing you'll get out of people. And they wanted that character to lead a whole movie. It's like,
or even there was a book where he fought Superman and Shazam at the same time. They made an animated movie on that. You could do that.
It was very good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah. True. I don't know which they'll do. I would imagine
it's forgiveness. It's not going to be forgetting. I guarantee.
Yeah. I also don't even think he'll fully forgive him. I think it's just going to be, hey, this is the bigger villain right now. We'll just kind of deal with this. And I have to reluctantly team up with you because I will say Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor performance really knocked it out of the park. He did a great job. He did a really fantastic job. I'm glad he gets to show what he can do. And they said they're going to have the big giant green suit that Lex has in the comic books.
War suit, baby.
Let's see how that works. What about the MCU? Did you watch the movies that came out this year for the MCU?
I've watched all the MCU movies.
Did you like Fantastic Four?
Yes, very much so. That was great. I really dug that one a lot.
And you like Thunderbolts, but you didn't like Brave New World.
It's not that I didn't like it. It was more like, because I enjoyed it for what it was. Again, it felt like they were trying to get back into that Winter Soldier thing. But I'm like, it's not my favorite Captain America movie. When you compare it to the other Captain America movies, there's no competition.
Do you think there's hope the MCU kind of has like a wave that moves up after Secret War? Because
if they actually reboot, yes.
Because there's Spider-Man and there's Doomsday and there's Secret Wars and that's it. And they were basically in phase 7. And that's going to be, he said, X-Men. But the thing that I'm worried about with the MCU is just because a few movies do well at the box office, those are like the exceptions to the rule now. What is the average floor these superhero movies have? I think potentially the average floor for a superhero movie, if you want to get the highest number out of it, is what Fantastic Four and Superman made. $500, $700 million. It's not,
I would say that's not right, unless you're very lucky. The movie
unless it's an event movie, like Deadpool Wolverine, like an event movie.
Or like Avengers. The Avengers movies, I think, will make the most of the Marvel movies. I'm going to tell you that right there. That's my estimation. What I really liked was Marvel Zombies.
Oh, that I didn't see that yet. I know that just came out.
That was really good. I like that a lot.
What else? What else ends up coming out? What other movies did you end up seeing recently?
Let's see. I saw What else did I see that's like comic book related?
I don't think there's anything that came out. I think those are the movies that came
There's
out.
not that much that really has been coming out besides. Okay, so it's Peacemaker. Creature Commandos. I enjoyed for the most part for what it was. I'm like, oh, okay.
Are you reading? I know you also read indie comic books. Are there any other indie comic books you're currently reading?
I read Spawn. I read Witchblade, Kingspawn. All of the Spawn books I read. Witchblade. I read. Actually, no. Hang on. I have my stuff here. I also read indies. Oh, you know what I actually read that I enjoyed is, did you read the Marvel DC crossover book?
The Deadpool one, Batman one? Yeah. I'm supposed to read it this week coming up.
It's really good.
Okay.
It's very enjoyable. I really liked it.
Okay, so did they have the short stories in there? With
The first story is Batman Deadpool.
Yeah.
Then they have Captain America and Wonder Woman, which is meh. Then Deadpool. Then it is Green Arrow and Daredevil. I think that's the next one. Then there's then there's Jeff the Land Shark and Crypto do a story together.
Pairing ever. That's the cutest.
And then one that is like the one that I'm like, why? Frank Miller wrote and drew Dark Knight Returns, Batman meets Old Man Logan. Which I'm like, okay. And then the last story is an amalgam story.
I know they did a cover recently of Lobo and Wolverine fusing. The Loberine.
Yeah, Lobo. Cool. I mean Logo. Oh, you know what? I remember. You know what I watched that I actually enjoyed? Alien Earth.
Okay, the last Alien thing I watched was Alien Romulus, and I was like,
I like that one. I like that.
Okay.
That was good.
What else thing came out? Are you looking? Because did you watch any of the Scream movies?
Nope.
Okay, you're not a horror guy. You're not a horror guy. Not a horror guy. So you hate Halloween, Jared? Oh my god, fucking hell, dude! How could you? Good lord.
Very easily.
So with comic books, you're reading all the Absolute Universe, mainline universe stuff. Anything outside of the Trinity beside Green Lantern? Because you're reading Jeremy Adams' Green Lantern run. I know that. I think.
And Green Lantern Corps. By the way, here are all the books I pick up on a monthly basis.
Jared, you might have a problem.
So there's no such thing as a problem. So I got all the Absolute books. Action Comics, Adventures of Superman, Book of L, Avengers, Aquaman, Batman and Robin, Batman Superman World's Finest, Captain America, which is okay. Cheshire and Cheetah rob the Justice League. Obviously, Batman, Deadpool. The Emma Frost book, which is so good.
You're buying that for the covers because that's what I'm doing.
Maybe. Fantastic Four, Geiger, which is enjoyable. I like that.
Jeff Johns, yeah.
Yeah, G.I. Joe, Green Lantern Corps, the Incredible Hulk series by Philip Kennedy Johnson, Justice League versus Godzilla 2. I love that. The New Avengers, which is actually really, really, really cool and interesting there. The Punisher, they brought him back in a Red Band book. It's so good. Predator kills the Marvel Universe. Pretty good. I love the Predator books. Rebel Moon, they made comics for it now, which I enjoy.
They did. I know that. That's from Titan, yeah.
Yeah. Red Coat. Scorched. Obviously Spawn.
Are you going to read Immortal Batman by Kyle Higgins?
I haven't checked that out yet. It's like that one I'm going to wait for it to be in a trade.
Okay.
And then Immortal Thor. Transformers is freaking amazing, bro.
It is very good.
It is so good.
I read the first two trades. I have the third trade. I'm gonna wait. I'm buying that series all in trade. That's what I'm doing.
So good. Ultimate Spider-Man. This is the only Spider-Man book I am picking up. Ultimate Wolverine.
Good book. Very good.
And Witchblade. Those are all my single issues I pick up on a monthly basis.
Laps. We need to make that. We need to make the Council of MSKs for Laps, everyone.
The Council of Reads. Yeah.
That's what's really interesting about comic books is what I've noticed with people is like they'll just say everything's bad, and it's like I don't live in worlds like that. I like to.
Yeah, here's the thing with my opinion, because when I first was getting into comics, that's like the environment, the zeitgeist that I was in. And here's the way I kind of said this: they publish there's hundreds of comics published per month. You
Yeah.
can't tell me there's not one good one in that massive pile.
But this was my thing, dude. I think people were only reading the big characters, and then they used the big characters books to judge the entire line on. So like people may have been only reading Spider-Man books or Spider-Man adjacent books, Batman or Batman adjacent books, then they just judge the entire line. It's like not everything is I do the solicitations every week. If you think everything's bad, that's crazy. You know how many books release a week?
Yeah,
Exactly. If you don't count the reprints of the collected editions.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like with me. It's like, yeah, I hate Tom King's Wonder Woman, but I have absolute Wonder Woman, which feels like Wonder Woman. So I have the alternative. If there's a bad book if there's a book that's like you like the character, but you hate what the writer's doing, here's what you simply do. Drop that book, go to the next adjacent or like equivalent book, whether or not that be Marvel, Indie, or DC. There's going to be one that works for you.
But my thing is, I think people at a certain point were watching people's videos and hearing them say a book is bad rather than them actually buying the book and reading for themselves. And that's what I tell people. We're on the internet. You can get books on the high seas, as I'll say. You don't even have to buy the books physically. You know what I mean? This is what I tell people about new movies too. If you don't want to pay for them, that's fine. You can we all have the internet. We all have, at this point, nice laptops and computers and phones. You can get it on the high seas. Even if you don't want to financially support, it's like you have an avenue of reading stuff for free, as we say
Check
here.
it out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like that's what my thing is. I think people are hearing someone speak about a book rather than actually going experiencing it for themselves. Now, keep in mind, if you experience that book and you don't like it, at least you'll have your own perspective as like why you didn't like it, right? Which I could buy. If you didn't like it for your own personal reasons, that's fine. But at least you did dislike it or liked it for your own reasons, not based off of like what someone else said. Like there's gonna be people that I agree with and disagree with on various things, but I have my own opinion on all these things because I've experienced a lot of them. You know, that's what I tell people. If you think most books are bad for Marvel and DC, there's Image, Dark Horse, IDW, Boom. There's other comic book publishers.
There's so many different. You can find a publisher, and a lot of the publishers still do superhero books. You can find a publisher that's putting out good books. It's really that simple.
Laps, you have an addiction. Laps, stop it. Stop.
Here's the thing. Practically every month this year, I have been picking up an omnibus because it's been every single month they've been releasing Wonder Woman omnis. So I'm like, oh my God.
Did you get the DC's Finest Wonder Woman books?
DC Fine. I have one of them on pre.
They released her first origin. Not her first origin. Her original origin. I know her first appearance. Whatever. They have one.
That one. That one I have in my pull box. I know. I also pre-ordered Spirit of Truth.
Okay.
And I need to get Historia.
So DC's Finest Wonder Woman, The Legend of Wonder Woman, DC's Finest Wonder Woman, Origins and Omens. That's Gail Simone and Kurt Busiek and Dan Mishkin. What are these goddamn names?
I put the one that I have pre-ordered is the actual like original Golden Age origin that they.
Okay, so that's
the going with.
Yeah, Introducing Wonder Woman by Martinson William. Okay, yeah, this one. I need to get that one, the other one, because I like the DC's Finest books. I like that they're basically Marvel's epic collections, but just jumping on points for random errors of the character. I would prefer if they're in order, but then again, that's just my own personal preference. If they're in order, it makes things easier for like a person that maybe wants to start a series to just start there. You know, I would have to inventory, but I know my good Lord.
Oh my God.
I told this man he has an addiction. He's like, I'm white. I was like, all right. Okay. That
there's worse addictions to have.
That's true. You could be you could be on meth or on crack. Don't do that. Yeah, old fans are jaded. I've been reading since '85, and I'm still picking up 40 to 45 books monthly in trades and omnis. Also, another thing, I understand if you were buying books, single issues, and you were buying them to the point where you didn't like it anymore. That's fine. That's understandable. But that would also be predicated on how many books were you reading too. Like if you're only reading like, let's say max 5 books, why would I just couldn't judge an entire line off 5 books. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I would just say this character's book made me kind of stop reading comics. I wouldn't say the entire line made me do that. But then again, I'm not saying every book is good, but it's just weird. Like someone said the coloring in the new books are bad. I'm like, I'll be honest with you, the art is the least most important thing about why new books don't sell well. That's like the least important thing. I
Yeah,
think
a
art
lot of it
generally
is
pretty
the
good.
writing because the art, particularly at DC, is pretty good. It's just when the
Yeah.
writing is crap, you're like, what?
Yeah, like I think the art for the most part is fine. It's good,
Mhm.
solid. Like it's mostly fine. I think that's the least of any comic book person's worries. And keep in mind, they have Dan Mora doing a lot of their books too. Fucking hell,
Yeah.
he's gonna be the new artist in the Transformers series. Couldn't ask for a
Yes.
better person to do that. But in your pile, you had Action Comics, right?
Yep.
Do you feel like Action Comics is going in a good direction right now? Because I know it's
Well,
Mark
it's
Waid.
telling a lot of the untold stories of the origin story for Superman. So I'm like, okay, I
It's
can
so
kind
weird
of dig
because
this.
Mark Waid came on in All In to do the Phantom story, and then he left and did something else, and then came back to do a prequel story. Technically, I guess, kind of. So
Mhm.
weird what they do with creators here. Mark Waid, Dan Moore. Remember when they were doing that Shazam book?
Mhm.
Right when they took him off, everyone left. That's
Yeah. Exactly.
I was like, okay, all right. I mean, I get if people don't like Mark Waid because he says retarded things. He says absolutely dumb things, but his name on books does sell it. It does. It just that's what
That's
needs
why
to
he's
happen.
the one writing the history of the DC universe.
Do you read his World Finest Superman book?
I do. That one's really fun. I'm
Okay.
enjoying that one.
When the add-on to the house is done, you'll have to come over and see my library. I would like to. Well, Jared's in the East Coast. He's actually more closer to you. Jared's what state are you in?
Florida.
I forgot. You're in Florida. You're in Miami?
Mm.
Oh shit.
South Florida, yeah.
Okay, good lord. Well, last is in West Virginia. So all you do is get a plane, get your bat plane, and fly straight up to him.
I get my invisible jet and just crash.
I'll be honest here. I'll see another plane and go, oh shit, and they'll just the wing will clip me.
You're like,
So I don't know if you want to talk about this. This is something I had to ask you. When we mention names, you had a friend of yours you used to talk to for a long time, but he's not on your show anymore. Now that you look,
somehow I knew you were gonna bring this up. It's
you guys know I've so not mentioning names, but how do you look back on the situation now after it's been kind of said and done for like about a good 2-3 months? You don't have to rehash the whole story. I was asking how you feel about it now afterwards.
I mean, if you want me to rehash it, I can
That's
do
up
it.
to you.
What
I'm not.
Sure, I'll do it. But so what happened was, this individual had been on my channel for like 5 years and such, and we had some fun times. The problem is that there was like a lot of stuff that built and built and built and built and built until it finally like exploded. But what made it explode is that so I put out a tweet that said that anyone that says that Superman and Wonder Woman need human love interest to be normal, that's kind of a xenophobic argument.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this particular individual retweeted it saying, you might explain this without the social justice like terminology. You sound like the people on Twitter that throw that around. And at first I'm like, no. But the other thing, it's like, because all my argument was that the argument that they need to be with humans in order to be normal. That's the argument. He then retweets it and represents it like I'm saying Clark with Lois is xenophobic. And then he goes, that this argument can only come from a shipper. And I go, you know me well. And you know goddamn well that's not what I was saying. So then he starts, so then my co-host, who's a firecracker, I'll tell you that, she gets into this argument with him because she co-hosts the Superman Wonder Woman show with me on Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
And she gets into this. The argument goes for like, I'm still getting notifications about it when I wake up for work the next morning. So all I did was DM him and say, hey, listen, man, lay off Brit. She's going through some stuff right now, please. He literally told me to butt out of it. And then I go, bro, you're involving it because you're attacking a friend of mine. And then it all spiraled. I asked him, hey, can you delete the tweet that like said that I was a shipper? Because you know I'm not doing that. He basically was talking about it like he basically deflected all responsibility onto me. And then like it went to the point where later on, I found out this individual, who MSK knows who it is, had been talking about me publicly on Twitter. He didn't put my name on the tweets, but he made it extremely obvious who who he was talking about. And that's why I put out a video talking about who it is, because like I wouldn't have said anything if he had not brought me into this and my friends into this, because that's me. It's like, you can talk about me, I don't give a shit. But it's like, the minute you start targeting my friends, that's when I start to get a little pissy. So that happened. And then, yeah, so finally I like had to like legit like ban this person, because this person was also the type of person that if I had a guest on the show and he was on there, he would constantly try and hawk his comic books to the guest.
I almost thought you said hawk his cock to the
God damn MSK. What is on your mind?
Good Lord.
But
I've been to a few Diddy parties, man. I know how life can be.
but
we know Dan DiDio was at Diddy parties. I can almost guarantee that man was there.
Yeah.
But jokes aside, yeah.
But the thing is like, the way I always saw it is because he was my first co-host, and when I started, and he basically told me once that he wanted to go back to the way it was when it was just me and him doing the show together, just me and him, because I now have like 5 or 6 co-hosts on various shows on my channel. Because I go live practically every day because I like doing it.
Yeah.
But it's like he got upset because I wasn't doing content on his channel, because he streams at like really weird time for 4 hours a day. So it's like, listen, bro, I can't sit on a stream for 4 hours a night when I could be hanging out with like my family, working on my content, working on my own comic book that's launching in October.
You went on his Friday show. I remember that a few times.
I used to do that. Yeah.
Try to do it.
That's the other thing. So I used to go on every Friday, but it later turned out I couldn't do a lot of other stuff with like my family. Like my dad wanted to go to the movie, so I said, "Hey man, can I do it every other week, because it's like so I can have some time with my family?" He goes, "Sure, 100%." He was very accommodating, and then he bitches about it later. Then I go, "We've agreed on this," and then I find out he's been screaming out at his co-hosts, some of which are my friends, behind. It's like, if they don't like adhere to his stringent like rules.
Like, as I tell people, like when you have a show, you try to have an environment where everyone can thrive. You try to have a great environment where people can joke around, have fun. After the stream's over, you've
seen my shows. I do that all the time.
Yeah. And, when you have shows where things can get kind of weird, you're just like, what the fuck's going on?
Well, in addition to the fact that, he got into a pretty heated argument with one of my guests, because my guest was like basically bashing Smallville and saying it shouldn't have happened. That's the other thing. You were not allowed to critique anything that this particular individual liked, because then it would be like, then they take it as a personal attack. They're one of those people. And
Lord, those are always
and it's
fun.
like, here's the other thing. he kept telling me he didn't feel like he was being treated as an equal. And I go, brother, you're not an equal. What I say goes on my channel. This was after he left being a co-host. So I'm like, Jay and Talati are more of an equal than you are, because you're a regular guest at the time, a regular guest. They're co-hosts. So it's like, yeah. And then he would always be upset because I would always be on his case about swearing on my stream. Because on my show, I like to keep it a little PG to PG-13, because I have a younger audience on my show. But so it's like, I'm just like, I'm like, and it's not like I'm telling him to do anything impossible. And everyone was constantly being interrupted, constantly being undermined. So I just asked him to stop that. And he goes, and he basically says, "Why are you always picking on me?" And I go, "Because you're the one that keeps breaking the rules on my channel that I set, so we can have a nice conversation."
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. All I was trying to do is make sure that the amount of times I literally had to like mediate, because he would get into some drama with the other co-hosts or other people that we know, to the point where after I posted that video, MSK, I think I sent you the video.
Yeah.
So many people were DMing me saying they had the exact same experience with this individual. To the point where we have our own group chat and we're planning on like airing all this stuff on a stream.
How do you get into these situations constantly?
I don't know. I really do. It's because here's the thing, and a few of my other co-hosts have brought this to me. Here's why I kept him around for so long, because not to toot my own horn, but if I have a friend, I tend to always think that like the best of them, because it's like you
until
like
they give
your
you a
friends,
reason
right?
why. Yeah, until they give you a reason to think
Until
otherwise. Yeah.
until you can give me a reason that someone's like a piece of crap. It's like I will go to war for my friends
Yeah.
any time or day.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, I wanted to see the good in people. It just got to the point where it was like eroding stuff down slowly and slowly and slowly until the point where this individual would also guilt trip you into stuff, and he would also like fake that he was going to end himself just to get you to go off his back.
I think also when you do this enough, relationships can weirdly deteriorate. I know I haven't had that. I know for me, I haven't had that happen on the show in a very long time because like you do the same thing on your show. If you have less people, that's way easier to manage how potentially bad
as opposed
situations
to having massive panels and stuff. Yeah. That's why I don't do that.
Yeah, so that's why now I just have a certain amount of people that I have. Like we have the same people pretty much, but it's just we have 2 panel shows. We have the solo shows, and it's just Lapsed, Warren, Gray, now King Style, and Bob. Yeah, so it's nothing more
and
than
with my co-host, it's like a group
7
chat.
people.
Yeah, and with my group chat, with my like group, it's like the 5 co-hosts are the people that you can expect to be on Comics League stuff, and then occasionally, if I want to bring in a guest like a comic book writer or another YouTuber, then of course I'll have them on. Then I run into people thinking all my panels are open panels because I have people on there, and I go, unless I say open panel in the thing, don't ask me for a link. There's so many people that think that like my stuff is open panel.
You told me that. I remember you and someone else told me that when I used to have people that came up from the chat, and I remember you had told me, hey, just only have people on that you already invite before the show, and that's who you have on the panel. And when you and that other person told me, I was like, yeah, that's probably the best way to run a show because
here's why. I had a few experiences where all of a sudden this person would be a complete wild card and derail the whole damn stream.
Yeah. And
I vet people very closely before I let them on my show because here's
the
people
FBI before a show.
Yeah. Well, here's what people don't realize. Who someone allows on the show is a reflection upon them as well.
Not just you. That's how the audience takes it.
Yeah.
Anytime, it's what I've learned by doing this from doing this over like 5 years. Anything that someone says on your show reflects on you. Even if you specifically say, I don't agree with that person. I like him, but I don't agree. They don't care. That person doesn't care. That's how dumb the average person is. Where you could say, I didn't say that. They're like, yes, you did. Point to it. He said it. That's not me. I don't know if you're blind. Not you. I don't know if you're blind or you can't hear, but that's not me. That's happens on every show. So for me, when you and that person told me that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have less people and refine the way we do it
because you can have a better conversation also that way.
Better conversations, and if once you've already established a good connection with someone and you have great conversations, you don't need to bring anybody else on. Like when I'm with Laps or Warren or I have the panel shows, I don't need anybody else joining. We already have it covered. Like, and keep in mind, if you have more than, you know this too, you have more than, sometimes even more than 4 people in doing this, it already
4 is my max. 4 is my max.
It's not that it gets like over talking. I don't know if you've ever had that because we don't have that here. Because I make sure people know.
Only when this particular individual was on the panels. It doesn't matter if it's me, if it's just me and him. It would be that. But the other thing is that it's like, well, what Hellhound says. Here's the thing. This was my suspicion because at the same time that like me and him had our issues, he seemed to drop like practically everyone, including you, because you DM me on that. And here's my point. This particular individual used people to advance his, because I don't know if you know this, I'm the one that convinced him to get into streaming because he would I would tell him, hey, listen, your comics would be more successful if you had a presence out there so people know, okay, I know him, I'll pick up his comic 100%. And then he would tell me, I'm not a YouTuber, I'm a comic book writer. And I go, yeah, but you could make more money if you actually had a YouTube presence.
That's true. You actually, because the money you
That's
make
what
off
I did.
The money you make off YouTube can go to any of your projects. Anybody.
Or
yeah.
not only that, if you have a good reputation in the community, people be like, "Oh, I know Jared from Comics League. Yeah, I love him. I'll buy back his comic."
Yeah, I think also people understand when you do this, like you have the rules you establish. I think it boils down to a respect thing. If someone doesn't respect you, they will not they won't care about your rules, right?
Yeah.
Because this is what happened with groups that I had. I think you were on the previous, not this group of people I have. The one you originally came into, they just did not respect the rules that I had, and I was like, okay, if you don't respect it, you're automatically never going to come back because we're already at a loss here. If you don't respect me and what I'm saying, well, you can just leave, because if the person doesn't respect your rules of what you're saying, that's automatically not going to work.
Yeah.
Because respect is the basic thing you have here. I'm not saying respect is like give me all praise. I'm like, just it's a common courtesy and understanding.
Just respect the rules that you established.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
And if someone can't just do that, well, fuck, I guess the fuck out. Like if you that's why I said when you have smaller groups of people you do the show with, and you have better, you generally have better conversations, and you can build a connection more.
Yeah,
that's the best way I've learned how to do it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Now I want pie. Oh my god, yeah, because Jared's talking about fixing his pie or something like that. God damn it, man. Sweet potato pie, not apple pie. Apple pie tastes like garbage. Fixed pie fallacy. Too much pie. God damn it. They want all the attention, of jealous of others. Yeah, that's what happened. Like in the other groups, they would only jump on because they felt like we would not represent what they liked good. It's like, that's not my job to. I'm just talking from my point of view. I don't care if it, I don't know, agree with what random thoughts you had in your own mind. I'm not a mind reader. That's really how you told me back in the day. People wanted to come on your show because they felt like you guys were misrepresenting what they thought in their head. It's like, I can't control that. I'm not in your mind. I'm just talking from my own. This is my experience. That's all I'm saying,
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I'm not going to this is not a call-in show. You know what I mean? Like, imagine a grandma called into your show being like, I don't want to talk about my fish. We're talking about comic books.
So this is the comic book channel. This is comics. Fish
League. What was I saying, sir? This is a Wendy's.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh god, man. I just like to have people on who want to talk about comics. Jared, well, let's come on whenever you ask him. He also talks a lot about comics too. That's it. No other bullshit is comics. Yeah, like if we have a topic here and someone wants to come in and talk about, I have no fucking clue, anything else. Well, that's fine. You can do that on your own time. This is what I'm doing here. This is what we're going to talk about. Now, I told people, you don't have to like it. If you don't like what we're talking about the episode, you cannot watch, or you can come back later on a replay. But I can't, like, if I'm not
I have a few people who show up in my chat and will ask like the most random questions. Like I
don't mind it before the topic. If it's before the topic,
during the topic, they'll go. What do you think of what James Gunn said? I'm talking about a Superman story right now. What do you mean? That's why I sometimes leave like the last 10 minutes of my shows for a little Q&A so I can answer the stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like in the event I'm like. I leave a show, my Comics League Dark show at the end on Fridays. It's so I can handle so I can talk about news stuff.
Oh my God! See, that's how I feel.
Not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, it's like, hey, how do you feel about misogyny? But as you're talking about like Superman, you're like, what?
Yeah, I'm like, what?
How did you get to this? Yeah, I try to make. As people know, I try to have a show where we can talk about a lot of different things. And if someone's not vibing with the topic of that show, that's fine. That happens.
You don't have to show up. It's not like you're requiring these people to show up.
God, if I paid these clout chasers to show up, I'd be broke because these people offer me nothing. But it's just one of these things where you can find the people that really vibe with your show and the ones that like to be around you, and fostering an audience that understands what's going on. And keep in mind, it all goes into prepping. Like, if you have a set thing going on, if I need that person on, I'll just DM that person, be like, hey, you want to be on? Because people will DM me. They'll be like, hey, man, like Labs did it for, I think, the Charlie Kirk one. He was like, hey, I want to come on and talk about Charlie Kirk. Sure. Fine. Yeah, go ahead, come on. But if he had said in the chat, I'd be like, well, God damn it. We already, I didn't know you were coming on.
Here's the other thing. And so I tell people, if you put in the chat, and let's say I do let you on, if you put in the chat, then all of a sudden I'll get like 80 other people saying, hey, can I have a link? Can I have a link? Can I have a link? And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to show etiquette,
Yeah.
Like, things should be set up in advance. That way the show can just run smoothly. And the chat is just what you use to answer things. You know what I mean? So, no, I don't want cheap followers. No, go away on Twitch.
I want expensive followers. I don't want cheap followers.
go to Kick for that. They view-bought everything. Like, and I do love talking about comic books. I really, really do. They're
Me
very, very
too.
fun. I should stop spending so much money on comic books, but I can't because I have an addiction. I have a problem, and I can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Shit. God. But what was the last omnibus you bought?
That would be Wonder Woman by John Byrne.
I need to get that.
And then
Let me see.
I recently pre-ordered the new 52 Earth 2 omnibus that has like all those titles because that's a great series.
Oh, they're doing. Yeah, you're right. They're doing a new printing for Earth 2. New 52.
It's such a great Elseworld story. I love it so much.
Sir, this is a comic show. Yeah,
Exactly.
like you'll literally. But I don't mind it as long as it's before the topic. If it's before the topic, well, that's fine. But if we're mid-topic and someone's like, "Hey, how you feeling? What's your favorite candy bar, sir?" We are talking about bullshit Disney's doing.
I'm talking about comics. I'm talking about why Tom King sucks. Stop it.
I imagine Tom King's favorite candy is Milky Way or some gay shit like that. Oh my god. But last few things I'll ask you, man, before we head out. So you did mention earlier you have your own comic book coming out.
Yes, I do. Very
which
much
should be launching. You said when?
October 21st, the anniversary of Wonder Woman.
Awesome. So what made you want to do that finally?
Well, because I think everyone that like talks about comic books and every comic book fan has like that one story that like they're like I want to do a comic book. So a lot of this comes down to like I wanted to put a lot of what I love about DC and Wonder Woman particularly into a book. So it's like a lot of this you'll see like references and similarities, but it's like it's a lot of me wanting to write. Here's why I love comic books. And I that way I want to when everyone asks me, Jared, why do you like comics? Here, read this. And that's pretty much my like selling point in the book. So if you like a lot of books that deal with gods like godlike beings in battle, that's Athena, goddess of thunder for you.
The last two things. The first thing is, do you have anything planned coming up that you would like to let the audience know about, excluding what you just mentioned there, the content?
Let's see. Probably on next Monday for my Superman Wonder Woman show, I'm going to be discussing the first year of absolute Wonder Woman and talking about like all the issues and why it's so good. And then on Thursday, I'm going to be talking about like the Wonder Woman game that was canceled, why it was canceled, because there's a lot of people that don't know why that thing was canceled.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I knew it wasn't coming out.
I knew it wasn't coming out either. When it was announced 3 years ago and we didn't know anything about it, I'm like, yeah, that is dead.
I was at work randomly one day, and I was like, wait a minute. They announced a Wonder Woman game. They made the cinematic trailer. And then,
that was all the work they had gotten done on that, by the way, was that trailer.
You know what's crazy? When I actually thought of that in my head randomly, dude, it was already 2024. I was like, wait a minute. There's been when you've seen no announcements in that fashion, that
no updates for 3 years, it's dead. It's quietly dead, or it's like limping to the grave. That's what it is. But yeah, so besides that, I also in October, I'm celebrating my 5-year anniversary as a content creator. So I'm doing a special stream for that and just hanging out, brother.
Hell yeah. Last thing I'll ask you, man, is do you have any shout outs you want to give to anyone in particular and anything else you're going to say before we head out?
Probably the voice actor Jason Lewis. He was the voice of Superman on Justice League Action. He came on my show and we had a great conversation about DC and Superman.
Oh, awesome. How in the world did you even get in contact with a person like that?
So my co-host Britt and I covered Justice League Action as like a Superman Wonder Woman episode, and I tagged him in it, and then he goes, hey, I'd love to come on and talk about it.
That's it? Wow. Good Lord.
It's really easy.
Luckily, didn't do any more damage to Wonder Woman after Suicide Squad shat on the Justice League.
She was represented pretty well in that game.
Oh, God. Suicide Squad. I call it Suicide Squad fucks the Justice League. That's what I call that game. Crazy how they basically... Remember, like, that game came out, and within about maybe 3 months, Steam had that game available for like $5.
Yeah.
Crazy. And then they were like, yeah, we're going to have one more update, and then it's over. What do you mean? What do you mean it's over? They're like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's after this.
And they finally added Deathstroke. So I'm like, oh, wait a minute. He should have been
What a
first.
the ironies of irony are the final character is going to be Deathstroke. All right, just fuck me.
Mhm.
It's typical DC. I know James Gunn. Remember originally he had said that it's going to be everything as far as like video games.
Sure it is. Sure it
I wonder
is.
what video. How would there's something I don't know how a video game would play into the DCU like that.
It would be hilarious. He announces that, and the game is like 5 years in development, and then by the time it's development, he's not at DC Studios anymore.
Hey, if Paramount does buy Warner Brothers, who knows? Yeah, you're right. She was treated well, but she was the only one. Yes.
I'm just saying. Also, Zack Snyder is doing work at Paramount. I'm just saying.
Okay. Good Lord. So, yeah. Thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK Show, and we will see you guys.